5 big franchise mode features coming to Madden 22. Now normally when I make a video like this, I'm looking into things that I've uncovered or I'm speculating, but this time around it's different. These are things that EA themselves have already committed to doing on their website earlier this year that a lot of people have missed or overlooked. Typically EA Sports or game companies in general will never say what they're working on months in advance, especially not a full year in advance, but the backlash around Madden 21's franchise mode was so massive that they literally had to commit to doing these things a year in advance to put the fire out. Here's what they said on their website earlier this year. For Madden NFL 22, it's still very early. We are at the very beginning of planning and pre-production of next year's product. That said, we've been actively discussing some of the areas we'd like to focus on, stemming from your feedback and player engagement. Here are a few areas, while not fully committed yet, we are exploring creatively. Now yes, they said they're not fully committed to it, but they know if they don't deliver these things that they listed, there's going to be even more backlash than they got in Madden 21, and there's no reason for them to bring that on themselves if they weren't sure that they could put these things in the game. So they've listed a bunch of things that we can expect from Madden 22's franchise mode, but I'm going to be going over the 5 biggest ones that will really push the mode forward. Number 1, coaching and staff management. Now this one in particular has already been further confirmed when they put a video out about a month ago talking about the last franchise update for Madden 21, and behind the creative director there was a screen with staff management on it for Madden 22. Now a lot of people say that they did this on purpose. I believe they did it on purpose as well, because they wanted to throw that little Easter egg in there to let you know, hey, the stuff we talked about earlier this year, yes, it's really still coming. Now the picture on the screen shows it right here. You can see the full coaching and staff management behind the creative director on the monitor. We don't know how deep this feature goes or if it's going to be real life coaches versus made up coaches, but we do know this feature is coming to Madden 22's franchise mode. Now it has been said for a while that licensing all of the real life coaches and trainers would be kind of a difficult task, so a lot of fans did say they prefer to have made up coaches versus none at all. The big thing here is the coaching and staff management has to actually affect the mode. It has to affect roster building, the progression of players, and things like that. If the coaches are made up but the feature actually has depth, I don't think many people would mind that. Number 2 on the list is another big one, and that is scouting improvements. This is another thing that they listed on their website, and this is the second biggest thing that's been requested aside from the coaching and staff management. Now, if you've played Madden's franchise mode at all over the last decade, you know just how basic and bare bones the scouting is. You get a certain amount of scouting points each week that you can distribute between a decent amount of players, and it gives you very basic information about what they might excel at and what round that they would likely be drafted in. Now, what franchise players want is much more in depth than this current system. EA knows that, and that is why they're going to overhaul it. Now, I've posted this on the channel before because it perfectly outlines what true franchise players want. Deuce Douglas, a very hardcore member of the franchise community, did a mock-up of what real scouting would look like a while ago, and I've shown it on the channel many times, but this is an idea of what you could possibly see. You get more information in the scouting report, how a wide receiver might run his routes, what type of routes he's better on. You'll get player grades, player comparisons. You'll get his bench press reps, his vertical jump, his 40 time, his 3-cone drill, his spark score, and a bunch of other information that will be useful when it comes time to draft. They might even show you his college stats and his college achievements and awards, which would be another cool aspect that they could add. Now, do I expect EA Sports to give us something as in-depth that is mocked up right here? I truly do not, but if they can give us some of these things, that would still be a big step forward than where the current system is. Today's video is brought to you by Manscaped. Did you know that one man every day, every hour is diagnosed with testicular cancer? April is National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, so it's a great time to talk about this. Now, you also know, if you've been around my channel for a while, how big of a fan I am of Manscaped and their Perfect Package Kit, the all-in-one grooming collection for the modern man. Well, Manscaped, in addition to providing the perfect tools for your family jewels, have also partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Now, if you want to learn more, visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn how you can check yourself for early signs of cancer. And as always, if you're looking into getting some Manscaped products, you can go to manscaped.com/Eric20 to get 20% off of your order plus free shipping. Your balls will thank you. Number 3 on the list is create a team. Kind of. We don't know if a full creative team is coming back, but we do know that they're adding a lot more to the game in terms of creating teams and relocating teams. Now, we do know the NFL had some involvement with Create a Team. We know they didn't want current teams to be edited to change the colors up, but in terms of creating brand new teams, we don't know if they truly took that away from EA or if EA just took it upon themselves to remove that completely. But we do know for Madden 22, this is an area of the game that they're looking to revamp. They did give some examples on their website. They said relocation and branding assets for franchise, new uniforms, names, and logos to relocation options for more variety and depth and deeper careers. Now, if you've played Madden 21's franchise mode lately, you know that the relocation options have not changed in at least 5, 6, 7 years, maybe more than that. It's been the same relocation teams every year. So at the very least, if they're not bringing back a full-on Create a Team, they are giving new relocation options, new uniforms, and logos. And this is an area of the game that I think they could really improve a lot on and really extend the life of franchise mode. A lot of people like to move their teams around and change their names and logos and uniforms. Now, the thing that I fear here is that EA will get a little bit lazy on it and not give that many options. We've seen them do this with similar things in the past. This gives them a really big opportunity to prove everybody wrong. Give us 100 new options, 100 new logos, 100 new uniform styles. Give us maybe 50 places that we can move the team to. Make it make sense. Give people the options, because if you only give people a few new options, that's going to get old within a year and we're going to be right back where we started. Number 4 on the list is new scenario engine enhancements. Now, this is another feature that could really extend the replayability of this mode if done right. You may remember in Madden 20, this was a brand new feature that they were hyping up for both Face of the Franchise and regular franchise mode. It was supposed to present you with a bunch of different scenarios that you would have to react to, and it would change the course of your franchise. Maybe a player wanted more playing time. Maybe a player got frustrated and wanted to get traded. The whole idea around this feature was that it was supposed to make franchise more like a living world where real scenarios would pop up that you would have to react to. The problem is, much like everything else in the mode, it was very basic and bare bones and oftentimes just didn't make any sense at all. And I found it very surprising that in Madden 21, they did not touch this feature at all, because it was still a brand new feature that had such a life ahead of it. They didn't even fully tap into it, not even close. It was honestly the biggest surprise to me when we saw everything that was coming to Madden 21. I couldn't believe that they were not updating the scenario engine. It honestly made me feel like that they might actually be doing away with it and were considering it a flop. But it does appear via their website that this is an area they're going to focus on for Madden 22. This one's a little bit up in the air for me, because after seeing how bad the initial scenario engine was, I don't really know what they can do to make it a lot better. But if they can make this better and make it work as it was intended and as it was sold to us, then I think this could actually make franchise mode a lot better. And number 5 on the list is a new team chemistry system. Now, while this is the smaller of the 5 big features, I do think this is something that is needed in franchise mode. Currently, chemistry and scheme fit doesn't really mean anything. It's been in the game, but it doesn't affect anything. And as we all know, if it's not going to affect anything, it's just window dressing. It might as well not be there. If you can put a new team chemistry system in place that benefits you from drafting the right scheme fit players or the right players to fit the coaching staff, I think that would be a huge plus. It would make better franchise owners more successful because they know how to put the right players together. If they have a player that doesn't fit and they move him for somebody that does, they should be rewarded for that. So while being on the smaller end of the big features, I do think this one could wind up being very important if done right. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest Madden 22 news that's going to be coming out soon. Check out some of these other videos right here, and I will see you guys next time.